Hello friends, today I'll be piloting Plagon, Lord of the Beach. This is an Azorius control deck that tries to outvalue your opponent with greater toughness than power creatures. You'd ideally get a couple of draws off of Plagon entering and then just try to control the board so that you can swing in for chip damage with your creatures until your opponent's knocked out. Our opponent today is going to be Cloud Midgar Mercenary, and this is an aggro style deck. Cloud will search up a equipment for you and put it into your hand upon entering, and then he gets extra triggers off of equipment triggers if that equipment is attached to him. So we've got classic aggro versus control today. We'll be piloting control and we'll see if we can't come out with the win over Cloud. We did win the coin toss, so we'll elect to be on the play, and I do like our starting hand, especially this Riptide Laboratory, as if we've got extra mana we can just bounce our commander back to our hand to recast it to draw into more cards. We've also got Spell Snare, which can directly counter their commander, so I think we have a pretty strong starting hand. And so with that, we'll choose to keep, and we'll open with a Seed of the Synod just to give us access to that Spell Snare, and then pass to our opponent. They'll open with a Plains and cast a Giver of Ruins. That stinks, as I don't have anything I can do about that. Giver of Ruins a very strong card, so that'll hit. And then we'll draw into a Duelist of the Mind. I think we go ahead and play a Ganjo Seed of the Empire, just so we have access to both of our colors. And then we'll just leave this Spell Snare up, and we'll pass to our opponent. They'll play Iganjo Castle, and then they'll cast a Pure Steel Paladin. He's going to draw cards whenever equipments enter under his control. I think we go ahead and Spell Snare that now, so that'll be countered, and then we'll draw into a Pippin, Guard of the Citadel. Kind of another version of Giver of Ruins, in that you can give a creature protection from a card type. It's a little different, but very cool card. And we'll go ahead and play our Riptide Laboratory. I think I want to get out this Denic Pious Apprentice. We can start applying some pressure, potentially gain some life. I think that's the right choice. So we'll go ahead and pay the 2 for that, and then we'll pass to our opponent. They'll get down a Plains, and then we'll see Archon of Emeria hit the stack. It's going to make it so we can only play 1 spell per turn, and our non-basic lands are going to enter tapped, and then we'll draw into a Get Lost. And then let's play the Assimilation Aegis, exiling the Giver of Ruins. Guess we'll swing. We can just they can bounce block with us or whatever, but we will get 2 life. We're going to be taking 2 damage from this flyer anyway because we can't block it, so we'll swing for 2. They'll block us. We'll go up to 22, and then we'll pass to our opponent. They'll go ahead and swing with their Archon, and then they'll play a Dranith Magistrate. So now we get locked out of our commander with that, so that's unfortunate. And then we draw into a Spell Queller, and I think we hang on to this to cast on our opponent's turn, just as a counter spell. The most they're going to be able to do is something that costs 4 anyway. So we'll go ahead and just swing for 2 and then pass to our opponent. We do go back up to 22, and they block. They'll swing with both of their creatures, so we'll go down to 19, and then we'll see Cloud hit the stack. So we'll go ahead and play our Magistrate, or our Spell Queller, and that'll send Cloud back to the command zone. We do now have a flyer, so we can block the Archon, which is good. And then we will draw into a True Name Nemesis. Can't play it because we don't have or access to 2 blue. I think I want to get it down this Duelist of the Mind, so that when we target something with Get Lost, we could potentially loot for a card. So let's go ahead and play him for 2. And then I think we swing with both of our creatures. We'll deal 4 damage and gain 2 life, so we'll go up to 21, our opponent down to 16, and then we'll go ahead and pass the turn. And they'll play Chroma's Will, giving all their creatures lifelink, indestructible, and protection from each color, so I won't be able to block. They'll swing in for 3, and they'll go up to 19 and us down to 18, and they pass back to us. We draw into a Misty Rainforest. Go ahead and play that. I forgot it's going to enter tapped because of this Archon, so I think now is a good time to put out Pippin. We can potentially start giving something unblockable, and or just protect our stuff. We do also have this, but I'd rather play spells since this Archon is blocking us from getting cards on the battlefield, and potentially use the Assimilation when we've got extra mana. So with that, we'll go ahead and attack. We'll swing with everything. Our opponent down to 14 will go up to 20. and then we'll pass the turn, and they get down a Skull Clamp. Very strong. They'll equip their Archon of Emeria with it, and then they'll swing 3. And I think we just take that 3, go down to 17, and then we will draw into a Snap. Let's go ahead and activate the Misty Rainforest. We'll lose a life, and I think I want to get the Tundra so that we can put out True Name Nemesis. Oh, I forgot. I should have done the Meticulous Archive, as that would have come in tapped anyway, and I could have surveilled off of it. So that's a misplay there. I was hoping to get True Name Nemesis out this turn just to apply a little extra pressure, but I think we'll just go ahead and swing with everything. They'll block Pippin, so he'll take a damage, and then our opponent down to 9, and we'll go up to 18. Second main phase, we'll go ahead and play the Azure Beast Binder, and then we'll pass to our opponent. Archon of Emeria to attack for 3. We'll go ahead and take that, and then we see Cloud hit the stack, and we can't counter him this time, so that'll hit, and he's gonna search up a Lion Slash. Luckily, he doesn't have the mana to play it this turn, and then we draw into a Plains, so we'll go ahead and play our Plains, and I think we swing all in and give Cloud this 2/2 from our Beast Binder, as it already has 2 power. I think that's the right choice. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Swing with everything. We'll make a Cloud a 2/2 and lose all abilities. We're committing a crime, so we'll get to draw a card and discard a card. We draw into a Meticulous Archive. I think I'm going to discard it because I do want to be able to play cards, and this isn't going to help us in that regard. And then Cloud's going to block the Pious Apprentice. Everything else to get through. Our opponent down to 4. And then I think we go ahead and play True Name Nemesis, and our opponent's going to need some kind of a board wipe or something to deal with what we've got going on. So we'll put True Name Nemesis out for 3. Give it protection from Cloud. And then let's go ahead and equip the Beast Binder and turn it into a Giver of Runes. And then we'll go ahead and pass the turn to our opponent. They'll go ahead and play their Lion Slash, equipping their Archon of Emeria, and then they're gonna pass back to us. We've already got 3 damage with True Name Nemesis, so I'm just gonna use Pippin to give the Pious Apprentice protection from creatures, and then I think we go ahead and swing. So we'll give it protection from creatures, and then we'll just attack with both of these. No responses from our opponent, so that'll get knocked out. Game 1 goes to Plagon. Back for game 2. As we won game 1, Cloud's gonna choose to be on the go. This is an okay hand. I don't really like it, but I don't want to go down to 6. We've got 2 lands. Pippin again in our hand. We've also got this Mockingbird that would allow us to copy something, so strong ability there, which I really like. And then Solitude's probably a long way off, but we could use it if we could evoke it if we needed to. We are on the draw, so that will help us potentially get into the lands we need. And they get down a Guide of Souls. Great card for them to get right now as this turn 1. So that'll potentially be getting them lots of energy, and they'll be able to pump up their team and get flying and things of that nature. Maybe we copy that with our Mockingbird. We do draw into an island, which is great for us. We don't have anything we can really do on turn 1 except the Static Prison, which I don't really want to use. So we'll go ahead and play a Deserted Beach. It's going to enter tapped, and then we'll just pass back to our opponent. Guide of Souls. Oh, that's when he attacks. He's got to attack to be able to do that. I thought he could just use it. Okay, that makes it a little bit harder for him to get that off, but he doesn't have any energy, so that's not going to do anything. And then we see Cloud hit the stack, and he'll get his energy, and he'll once again tutor up a Lion Slash. We draw into Assimilation Aegis again, so that's great. Maybe we Assimilation Aegis the Guide of Souls. We've got creatures that can enter and get us energy. It is a couple turns off, so I think right now we just put down Pippin. Yeah, let's do that. We'll play Pippin for 1 or 2, I mean, and then we'll pass the turn and see what our opponent does. They'll play the Lion Slash, and they'll get an energy counter out of that, and then we'll see Cloud attack. Oh, it doesn't have to be this Guide of Souls that attacks for this to trigger. It can be any creature of his that attacks. Okay, I don't want to trade. I can give something protection from creatures and trade later, or I can give something protection from creatures and eat Cloud if he attacks later. So I think we just take this 2. We go down to 17, and then they'll pass to us. We draw into a Meticulous Archive. I'm thinking we create a bunch of different Guide of Souls and overwhelm our opponent with, you know, flying and plus counters and energy. So I'm thinking we copy the Guide of Souls and then we exile the Guide of Souls with Assimilation of Aegis. I like that. Let's do that. So let's go ahead, and he only costs 1. So let's go ahead and pay 2, or pay, yeah, 2 total. We'll have him enter as a copy of the guide. We'll play Meticulous Archive as there's nothing else for us to do with our mana, and Surveil 1. It's a Flooded Strand that would give us access to the Solitude without having to evoke something. So let's leave that on top. And then I think we just, well, we'll swing with Pippin. He's got Vigilance. They could double block and I'd be okay with that. I don't have the energy, so I'll pass on that. Guide of Souls was triggering for us. They are going to double block. Interesting. Okay. I'm okay with that. Let's get rid of the Lion Slash with Pippin, because I want to use this Assimilation Aegis to double up what's going on with the energy counters. So we'll do 1 into each creature. Lion Slash will hit the graveyard, and then we'll pass to our opponent. Maybe that was a little hasty of me. I didn't think they would do that. Losing Pippin is no good, but Cloud to attack. We'll not block as we want to get as many counters as we can. And then a Ranger Captain of Eos to hit. They'll get a 3rd energy counter, and they'll get an Ocelot Pride with the Ranger Captain of Eos, and then they'll play the Ocelot Pride, and they'll get a cat token at the end of turn. Ooh, this is really strong, as now they're going to get a bunch of counters. Energy counters off of the Ocelot Pride and stuff hitting at the end of turn all the time. And then the turn will pass to us. We do draw into the Flooded Strand. I think we need to get rid of the Guide of Souls right now, as he'll be able to trigger it next turn when they attack. Ranger Captain of Eos likely to be able to just attack in for free. Yeah, let's play our Flooded Strand, thin our deck a little bit. We'll lose a life. We'll get a Tundra, which gives us access to both of our colors. And then we'll play this Assimilation Aegis for 3. Get rid of the Guide of Souls. And then pass the turn. Likely to take a bunch of damage here. And then we'll see a Helping Hand. Return a creature with mana value 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So Lion Slash will come back. He'll equip the Ranger Captain and then swing. And I think we take this 5, and then they'll pass to us. We draw into a Flood Farm Verge. I think I want to get down the Solitude this turn. Exile his Ranger. Maybe exile the Ocelot Pride. No, I want to exile the Ranger. Yeah, let's do that. Let's exile the Ranger. So we'll play Solitude. We'll get rid of the Ranger Captain. We get an energy counter off of the Guide of Souls, and that'll end our turn. I'm thinking next turn we get down our commander and equip the Assimilation. Well, first equip Solitude with Assimilation and then get down our commander so we can get a boatload of energy. And with that, we'll go ahead and pass to our opponent. They do have 28 life. Gee, I didn't realize they were gaining so much life. Lion Slash to exile Pippin and get a plus counter. 2 plus counters now. And Ocelot Pride to be equipped with the Lion Slash. Dang. Cloud to attack for 2. Ocelot Pride to attack for 3. It's got First Strike and Lifelink, so whatever blocks it would just die. We are probably going to need to Static Prison that next turn. Ugh. Cloud also coming in. We could trade with him. He's just coming back next turn and then getting another equipment. I don't really like that. I'm thinking this Guide of Souls plan is falling apart. They're going to get another cat token. Oh, actually it's going to be, yeah, they're going to get 2 cat tokens as they've got the City's Blessing. I can't even get rid of that right now. I think we just take this 5. I think that's the right choice. And then we see an Anointed Peacemaker at the during the second main phase, a 3/3 with Vigilance. This is rough. I really needed some counter magic. Being on the draw is just rough. All right, he's gonna make our commander cost an extra 2, and then the Ocelot Pride's gonna give him a couple of tokens. We will draw into a Plains. We'll go ahead and play our Flood Farm Verge. Let's play a Static Prison. Oh, I guess he chose Static Prison. Sometimes this card, how it works, I can't tell what they've selected. It's gonna cost us 3 to use the Static Prison. Yeah, we'll put the Ocelot Pride in timeout. Lion Slash to become a creature. We'll go ahead and play our commander. We just need bodies and we need to gain life. This has lifelink, so I could attack and give it plus counters, gain some life. We're still taking a bunch of damage, but I think that's probably the right call. Yeah, let's do that. let's attack with Solitude. That'll trigger the Guide of Souls. We'll pay the 3 energy. It'll get +2/+2 and become a 5/4. Our opponent down to 26, and we'll go up to 11. And then Lion Slash will equip the Anointed Peacekeeper. Really wishing I had Pippin right now. He'll swing for 5. I don't want to block it, so we'll go ahead and just take that 5. We'll go down to 6. Witch's Enchanter enters, and it's going to destroy an artifact or enchantment that we control. It's going to get rid of Assimilation of Aegis, so they will get their guide back. And then we draw into Ophelia. Interesting. If we can just hold on long enough, we may be able to... Oh, I can get energy off this Guide of Souls and keep their Ocelot Pride in prison when creatures enter. Yeah, I think we need to do that. We've got Ophelia and Ephemerate. We're going to get a bunch of Plagon triggers. Phase out our commander, which I think makes it come back the following turn with the Talon Gates of Midgar. I think we go to combat and swing with the Solitude. Gain 5 life, go up to 11, our opponent down to 21. They do only have 1 card in hand. I think I need Plagon out right now, so let's go ahead and play the Seachrome Coast. Second main, we got to get to second main phase first. It'll enter tapped, and that's fine. Ophelia does have Flash, so we'll likely play him and Ephemerate at the beginning or during our opponent's turn. Assimilation Aegis to be exiled from our graveyard, and then the Anointed Peacekeeper to attack. We'll go ahead and block with Plagon, and then I'll use Ephemerate to blink him. So he'll go bye-bye. We'll get an energy. When he comes back, we'll draw 2 cards. We get into a Duelist of the Mind, and then it's end of turn, so we'll go ahead and just play Ophelia now. Get another energy off of that. Ephemerate is going to rebound, so we'll go ahead and use it on Plagon. Draw some more cards. Get another energy, and then I think we use an energy to keep the Ocelot Pride in the static prison. We'll get out Duelist of the Mind to gain an energy. We've got a couple of counter spells now. Static prison likely to go away after this, but Ophelia will be able to blink Plagon just because it's got the flying from the energy, so I like that. Let's do that. So yeah, we'll leave Ocelot Pride in prison. I wonder if we use the phase out on Plagon now. Let's get the Duelist of the Mind on the battlefield. We'll get 1 energy off of that. I do want to get plus counter on Ophelia so it gets flying so that I can get in and blink Plagon. So I think we do that. Yeah, let's do that. Solitude and Ophelia to attack. We'll go ahead and blink Plagon to draw some cards. Get some energy. We also want to pay 3 to give Ophelia +1 in flying, or 2 +1 counters in flying, I should say. Plagon to be blinked. We don't want him to go back to the command zone. When does he come back? At the beginning of the next end step. And Ophelia is going to get more plus counters. Oh, wow. Okay, this is good. So we're swinging for 9. Our opponent down to 12. I guess we don't want to phase anything out right now, so I think we just play a Plains, and we've got Spell Pierce and Negate up. Spell Pierce likely to not be effective, but we'll play a Plains, and then end turn, Plagon's gonna hit. Ephemerate is gonna get exiled by the Lion Slash from our graveyard. We'll gain some life and get some energy off of Plagon entering. Then we'll draw a couple cards. We get into a Command Tower and an Archivist of Ogma. Interesting. If they're gonna search, we can go ahead and draw cards and gain life and play it at flash speed, so we'll likely be playing that here in a second. And they're attacking, so they're going to give something flying probably now. Oh, they don't use the energy off of their Guide of Souls. Interesting. Anointed Peacekeeper to come in for 6. I think we just take that. That's fine. And then we'll play the Archivist just to use up our mana. Get another energy counter. We draw into a Skull Clamp. And we'll go ahead and pay the 1 to leave the Ocelot Pride in prison. Let's play the Command Tower. We'll get out Skull Clamp and equip it to Solitude, just so we're gaining more life. And then if they do remove it, we get to draw a couple cards off of it. Skull Clamp to hit, equip the Solitude, and then I think we just attack with all of our flyers. We don't have enough energy to give anything plus counters in flying, but we can blink our Plagon, so we'll do that. Plagon to go away, come back at the beginning of the end step. We get in for actually lethal, so Plagon to win 2-0 over Cloud. Kind of surprised I came out with a win, that second win there. I thought I was going to lose that game, but I was able to basically fly over the top over my opponent, and they weren't aggressive enough to get in. Being able to keep the Pride and Ocelot Prison prevented them from being able to overwhelm me. So good win there for Plagon and Azorius Control. YouTube thinks you'll like the video in the top right. Otherwise, you could check out one of the playlists on the bottom. If you liked the video, consider subscribing by clicking the button in the top left. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so by giving this video a thumbs up or leaving a comment with your thoughts below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.